Distillation is the ultimate form of preservation. To think that the history of corn goes back for thousands of years and somehow ended up close to this place that we love really challenges us to be the best possible stewards for this corn. When you think about even the grains that you start with, it takes an individual to grow that plant every year.
My name is Brad Stowe. I'm from St. Matthews, South Carolina. My grandfather farmed, my father farmed, been a farmer, I guess you would say my entire life. Jimmy Red is an heirloom corn. It's a challenge in its own. You think you got a crop, and then overnight you may lose it. I've always had a good feeling about Scott and Ann. I knew if they could take a risk, I could take a risk.
We knew we wanted to try making a bourbon, and we started looking at mash bills and realizing the flavoring grain, it was wheat or rye, usually in the 14 to 16%. I used to go into liquor stores and it was just handles of liquor, but now I just see agriculture. We knew that there was this relationship between ingredient, variety, and flavor, but our brains went to corn. You know, there's like 75% corn in here. Why is that not the flavoring grain? That then led to this question of like, well, who do we know that knows a lot about corn?
My name is Glenn Roberts. I own Anson Mills and AM Research. Our seed house is not more than 20 miles from here. The wonderful thing about ancient mazes like Jimmy Red is that they will reflect like wine, the season, the land. And if you grow Jimmy Red over here, you can prove through blind tasting that it's different than the Jimmy Red that's grown over here. Why would you bother doing this? Because of flavor. How many whiskeys out there are single origin, place-based, for real?
Once it's in the bottle, it can be there for 300 years. And it can tell a story of that season and that farmer and what happened. We're telling a story through this whiskey, and it's also telling a story of community.
We live in the most connected world we've ever lived in, but at the same time, we live in the most disconnected world we've ever lived in. As a community of farmers and researchers and whiskey makers, we are really seeing the value and working hard to make sure that these grains endure, that they're passed along to the next generation, that we're able to take this moment and this time and place and literally distill them. Think of all the lives that it has supported and all of the stories translated through us in one sip.